So back in college, I used to think that I was a night owl. I wouldn't be able to sleep until like 1 or 2 a.m. and morning classes were a real struggle. But it actually got way harder for me after I graduated and I started working as a doctor in the hospital. Because my work schedule was a mixture of day and night shifts, which totally screwed up my circadian rhythm, and I was tired all the time. This really forced me to learn the science of sleep, and I discovered that I could take back control of my sleep schedule through the power of an evidence-based night routine. So as a part of this ongoing series, we're talking about a night routine that helps us fall asleep quickly instead of tossing and turning all night. It makes it easier to fall asleep at the same time every night, and it's completely free to do. You don't have to buy anything extra, but we can also recommend some purchases for those of you who want to invest in better sleep. And there are 4 basic elements of our night routine: light, energy, water, and temperature. Let's start with light. According to Russell Foster, professor of circadian neuroscience, light exposure controls our circadian clock, and it depends on the time of day that you see the light. So lots of light exposure in the morning shifts our clock forward, and it makes it easier for us to wake up and go to sleep early. Lots of light exposure in the evening shifts our clock backwards and makes it harder to sleep early. So theoretically, if you're a student who sleeps in a lot and gets no light exposure in the mornings, then your circadian clock may be delayed and you'll find it harder to go to bed early. In this case, you might mistake yourself for being a night owl, when in reality, your problem might just be too much light at night and not enough light in the morning. So if you're trying to get to bed earlier, you'll want to limit your use of super bright screens, devices, and also dim bright lights in the evening. You want to do all of this about 1 to 2 hours before trying to sleep. Having a pitch dark room is also helpful for sleep. So if you need to, consider investing in a sleep mask or blackout curtains for the bedroom. Next, let's talk about energy. In general, we tend to have more energy and more willpower earlier in the day, and it progressively drops off. If you're familiar with Eat That Frog, this is why we want to tackle our hardest tasks earlier rather than later. So we want to protect and preserve that willpower. We don't want to expend it on a lot of unimportant tasks, unimportant decision making, and distractions earlier in the day. So what does this mean for our night routine? Well, we want to use this time to make all those small decisions and prevent them from overwhelming us in the morning. Make sure your backpack and your lunch are packed and ready for class. You want to pick out your outfits the night before. And you want to check your to-do list and schedule so that you aren't scrambling in the morning and protect that energy. Now, there's another kind of energy that you don't want before bed, and that is stress. If I'm on my phone or on social media and I see my friends out having fun, I'm gonna have FOMO. I'm not gonna be able to sleep. Same thing with reading the news or getting in an argument with a girlfriend, or really any thoughts that can get me worked up or feeling anxious. I'll try to write it down on my to-do list and I'll get to it tomorrow, but right now I just want to offload it from my mind so that I can sleep. Next is water. It's good to hydrate before bed, but don't drink so much that you'll have to get up in the middle of the night to use the bathroom. If you want to maximize your chances of good sleep, you want to avoid alcohol 3 to 4 hours before bed and avoid coffee 5 to 7 hours before bed. Obviously, as students, this isn't always possible. We have to study, we have a social life, but that's okay because Dr. Andrew Huberman suggests that we should try to stick to our routine at least 80% of the time. And finally, in our morning routine video, we talked about the importance of drinking water first thing in the morning. So if you tend to forget, then I'd recommend putting water on your nightstand or next to your toothbrush to build that habit. Next, let's talk about temperature. Higher temperature helps us wake up, and cooler temperature helps us go to sleep. According to Dr. Matthew Walker, a good temperature for our bedroom is less than 70 degrees. Things we want to avoid too close to bedtime that might raise our temperature are alcohol and exercise, especially cardio. And ironically, taking a warm shower before bed can be helpful because it causes our core body temperature to cool down as a reflex. If your room is too hot, then consider using less blankets or invest in a fan or a cooling pillow. So let's take all these elements and construct a simple night routine. The hard part is actually just getting started, because with a morning routine, you start the moment you wake up. But with a night routine, we're usually doing different things every night, which makes it kind of unpredictable. So I'd recommend setting an alarm an hour before you plan to sleep, preferably at the same time every night to give yourself plenty of time to wind down. When the alarm goes off, you want to stop the alcohol, stop the exercise. Phones and laptops should be put away. The bright lights are dimmed. Take this time to prepare your outfit, backpack, to-do list, put water for the morning, wash up in the bathroom, warm shower if you need to, and then head to bed with a clear mind. The act of going through these same motions every night for most nights will over time condition your body to wind down and get sleepy out by the time you lie in bed. And just like our morning routine, consistency is key here. If you haven't already, check out our morning routine video right here. It follows the same scientific principles of light, energy, water, and temperature to help us wake up at around the same time every morning with plenty of energy to seize the day.